Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Diaz. I am the Jesuit volunteer at Centro Alta Gracia. This is Mary. Unfortunately, Richard, our executive director, wasn't able to be here today, but Walter's here with us. He also works at Centro. And tonight it's how to find God with $100 a month. This comes because, well, I'm going to tell you in a second. Then we start. The Jesuit Volunteer is a one-year program.
So we get a lot of weird questions about being Jesuit volunteers. What does it mean? Lots of interesting things. So to demonstrate, very typical New Yorker, I might be someone near the street, someone you work with, encounter in a daily career. Hi, my name's Mary. What's your name?
I'm Elizabeth. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. What do you do?
I am a Jesuit volunteer at Centro Alta Gracia. I work with the Dominican community. My community liaison.
What is a Jesuit volunteer? I don't understand. You live in the street?
Well, I live under 4 values: spirituality, community, social justice, and I always forget the last one. Something like spirituality, community, simple living, and social justice.
Okay. So do you live with other people?
I live in a community of 7 ladies. We live in a convent on 151st.
Wait, so you live in a convent, so you're a nun?
Not exactly a nun. I'm a volunteer.
So you don't get paid at all?
I only get paid $100 a month, and that's what I get to spend for the rest.
That's not that much money.
It is not indeed.
So those are some of the typical questions that we'll get, often been asked, are you a Jesuit? Are you a nun? All sorts of fun things. But we are none of those. We're Jesuit volunteers. A little bit different. Oh yeah. So I moved to New York in August a year ago with the Jesuit Volunteer Corps. And our very first night was interesting, very interesting. We were all headed to sleep, and I was not particularly excited about moving to New York. I wanted to be somewhere else. But our first night, we're all headed to bed, and I hear a noise outside, and then there were people yelling at each other, and I was like, oh dear God. My first night in Harlem, and there's a fight outside my window. Welcome to Harlem! But what I thought was a fight, actually, these two guys that broke out into song and started singing this gospel song, and it turns out that they were just really good friends, and they left each other being like, hey man, I love you man, I'll see you later man. And so, welcome to Harlem indeed. It was really cool. Shaping my perceptions, changing my perceptions. A beautiful welcome on my first night in Harlem indeed.
One of the parts of the community, and we have to share spirituality nights once a week. And one of the spirituality nights that I was the presenter, I guess. It was ¿Cómo está tu corazón? And there's a place in Chiapas, in Mexico, where when they ask how are you in their own language, they're not actually asking how are you. They're actually asking ¿Cómo está tu corazón? How's your heart? What's in your heart? And we usually answer, well, I'm fine. But when you encounter a question like ¿Cómo está tu corazón?, you actually get to think, how's your heart? What is in your heart right now? And I think for me, part of these questions lead me to another activity we had, that it was our spiritual journeys. And this was led by Adriana. this was to picture where I'm a Catholic. Where did I start finding God? How did I learn about Catholicism? Why am I still a Catholic? And it was a really interesting journey because, well, my family was Catholic, and, well, I am a Catholic, I guess. I go to Mass, I believe in what my mom's telling me. But then I got to high school, I got to college, and started thinking, like, I don't have to believe in what my mom says. I don't have to believe in what my family believes. Oh no, let's put God aside right now. And then somehow I end up in JVC and started coming to theology on tap was big for me because I remember when Father JP gave his talk and he talked about suffering and the meaning of suffering, how you go through different experiences in life and you suffer, but it's not the suffering part what matters. It's what you're going to do with these suffering. If you're just going to put it aside and be bitter the rest of your life, or you're actually going to work with these suffering and do something about it. I have found God in all things I do. I find God at home, I find God at work. I sometimes even have to find it in myself, even when I'm really frustrated, and just see it and think, what is it that you're doing? Where do you want to head? And just like the question I said at the beginning, ¿dónde está tu corazón? Another part of this journey in my spiritual life was sharing, and how sharing is a big part of community. In community we share almost everything. I share a room, I share a bedroom, I share the food, I share the toothbrush, I'm just kidding. But it is important to share, and sharing those $100 sometimes it becomes an easier way to make it. Well, I'm trying to eat chicken tonight. Do you want to order chicken so we can split the check? I'm trying to drink wine tonight. Can we split that and into a bottle of wine?
Or 2 bottles?
Oh, that's another question we had to go through. You drink? What? You're a Jesuit volunteer and you drink? Yes, we do that too. We're people. Thank you. And just the sharing part for me was not only sharing the space, the money, but also sharing my story and allowing people to come into my story, because this was a year where I was broken and I had to find a way to get back, put the pieces together, and I didn't have my family to do that for me here, so I had to trust my community and say, well, please help me, because right now I can't find God and I know there's a way out of this.